Hi, my name is Catherine Roseland, here with Board Game Geek TV at Spiel 2013. I'm sitting here with Nikki Pontius and Frank Cuban.
Hi guys.
And with Queen Games, and we're talking about their new game Templar.
Yes. It's our new family game. It's from 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up. And what we do in this game, we are Knights Templar, and we have collected a lot of treasures, and we have to hide them from the king, because he is out looking for them. And we are in this abbey, and we're trying to hide our treasures that we collected. So we start off with a bunch of rings, and there are other things to hide. There are, what are they called? These are
chalices.
Chalices and old books. So we each start out with rings, and the hiding locations on this board are stars are for rings, the yellow ones are for the chalices, and the gray ones are for the books. So, and we get points awarded for hiding those. So at the start of the game, everybody has a hand of cards, and those do different things on the board. We have different figures. Everybody has his own player figure, which is controlled by the monks and some other cards. Right? This one, for example, if I play this card, I can move my figure up to 3 rooms and then place up to 1 treasure in there. The other ones are just different. This one, for example, it lets me only move 1 room, but I can hide up to 3 treasures. Yes. So these are the ones that we get treasure on the board.
And what's cool about the cards is they're language independent, so once you know the symbols,
Exactly. Then it doesn't really matter.
it doesn't matter.
We have one friend in this abbey, which is this little feller, or big feller. It's Remedios. And he's basically, you can, if you play this card, you can move him up to 2 spaces, up to 2 rooms, and wherever he lands, he awards points for every treasure hidden. It doesn't depend on the player, every player gets the points. But for example, if I had a ring in here, you had a book in here, and you had a chalice, I will get 2 points for the ring, you will get 3 points for the book, and the most valuable is the chalice, you will get 5 points. But once the room is awarded points, you just flip over the tiles to indicate they have been awarded. Yes. If, for example, I had 3 rings in there, there's one special rule. I only have to flip over 1 ring, which means I can come back to this room and award points again.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yes. And there's one bad guy in the abbey. Actually, there are 2, but one we can control, which is Severus. He's the one looking out for the king, what's going on inside the abbey. This means if I play this card, I can move him up to 3 spaces, wherever I want. In this room where he ends up, no one can take a treasure, place a treasure, or even award points for treasures. So you can block other people and stuff.
So basically you're blocking the room.
Yes. And if you move him, you get 1 victory point.
Okay.
Just because you moved the bad guy. Apparently. There's one door in this abbey, and no one is allowed to go through the door. But you can play porticos, then you can move the door to any other entrance on the board. You get awarded 1 victory point for this, for moving the door.
And it blocks the area.
And it blocks the area, yes. So, at the start of the game, we each start out with 5 rings. So how do I get more treasure? There's actually this girl, Maria. If you play her, you take your pawn, and there's another, it's the harbor, and you can place your pawn on one of the warehouses of the harbor, and you basically get from your stash the items that are seen
That are
over
sitting
there.
waiting for you.
So you take these away, and you take the corresponding in your column, for example. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and now you get new treasures to place into the abbey. So, since you're playing each card on top of your old one, you're running out of cards at some point. So to get your cards back, you have the bells. Once you play the bells, once you play the bells, you take all of your cards back in your hand and you have a full set. There's one thing happening. If you play the bells, you look at the card that you played before. In this case, it's a 9 on top. So you place 9 new treasures on the harbor.
Ah, okay. So it fills up a bit more.
From the bag.
Yes. From the bag, there are 90 tiles in there. The game ends, or one ending condition is if you don't have enough tiles to fill up the harbor. So there are 2 more cards. Benjamin, you just move your pawn and you can take 1 ring from you or the other players and place it 3 rooms away. Why you want to do that? I'll come to it. There's one guy who, Stefanus, he writes a lot and he wants to get people's attention. So whenever you're in a room with other players and you play him, it's good because for every other wooden piece in the room, you're getting victory points.
Ah, okay.
Like I said, the game ends either if the board cannot be filled up again, or thank you, or if you have placed rings, books, chalices, doesn't matter, at least one in each room of the abbey.
Only one player, or all players?
No, only one player. Then he announces, I placed all the rooms.
And the game will end.
The game will end then, and then end scoring occurs. End scoring is, this is a chart. For every room you have placed rings or treasures in it, you're getting points. If you have 7 rooms, you get 4 points. If you have 13 and you're the only one, then you get 20 bonus points.
Okay.
Also, this little chapel here, every ring you place in here will get awarded points at the end of the game. It doesn't matter if it's scored during the game or not. So you're gonna see a lot of rings in here. And whoever has the most points wins. One thing I forgot to mention, how a turn is going, which is, So you have a full set of cards. You choose a card that you want to play. For example, you play the card and then you do your action. The next player chooses a card, but the problem is you cannot play the cards that are already on the table.
Ah.
So you have to choose one other. For example, you could play Maria, and then you would choose, for example, this one. So I cannot choose my next turn Maria or Lucas. So I have to choose another character.
Okay.
Because the characters always go on top.
But if I did this and it was caught in the strict rules, you lose 2 points?
You lose 1 point.
1 point.
If somebody caught you cheating
Yeah.
or making a mistake,
Yeah.
you lose 1 point. Yes.
Okay, so you have to be aware of what's going on.
Yes, you have
If
to
you
be
want to
aware.
play
of what's going
mean.
on. And that's basically Templar.
Great. Looking forward to trying it out. Templar from Queen Games. Thank you.